feel? Or
well, it's far more consistent. Last night we had a lot of guys playing their first game in the league, and deer in the headlights, no question, with a number of guys, including our goaltender. We had 3 or 4 weak goals. On Saturday night, none today. It makes that makes a big difference, but a much more consistent effort, and we had a stronger lineup. There's no question.
Did Jordan Kennedy look less nervous today?
Oh, no, far different. The reason why we wanted to start him is simply, okay, you were so nervous yesterday. You over that? Kind of kidding with him, and he was. And that's a neat thing. That's a good thing.
The fact that this game could have gotten away from them, they got behind. They had to keep fighting from behind, and it didn't get away. And then they found a way to win it. Does that tell you anything about your character?
Well, one of the things we talked about, I'm sure most of you heard me say character so many times. But we played the defending champions. I know it's only an exhibition game, but you get behind with a team as good as Drummondville, you may never catch up. We've seen that a few times, and we still did a couple of things like bad penalties that kept digging holes, but kept filling them in, which is a good thing. But we're pleased with the character in the team. We've got a lot of smiling faces and a lot of guys that are saying good things in our dressing room.
It seemed that tonight there was a lot more physicality on the ice. Both teams really.
Well, if somebody's pounding you, you better pound back, or you're going to be run out of the building. And one of the things that we felt from last year's team was we got pushed around way too much, and we made that very loud and clear that's not something we wanted to happen again. That's no fun, and you can't win when you get pushed around.
Steph Fournier tonight really showed why he was a first-round pick in the first place.
Well, and he played tired. He was tired from last night. I mean, we've got a couple of guys like he and Mike Chaput who didn't play a whole lot last year, and it's not like they're starting over again, but they have to get the legs underneath them, and Steph Fournier's got great hands. I mean, that first goal, he had nowhere to go but up, and I don't know how that puck went in. I mean, it was a great shot. And the thing about him too, he loves playing. That's a neat thing. He's got a smile on his face, and he's positive, and those are neat things to see as well.
Don, what are your thoughts about Jelinek coming into the season, and what are your expectations, assuming he doesn't stick with New Jersey?
Well, I see a big difference. I saw a young, kind of an overgrown kid last year, and he's growing into a man very quickly, and he's throwing his weight around. One of the things that he wasn't doing with my limited exposure to him last year was that he wasn't playing that physical game that a guy his size, everybody expects him to play, and in fact they need to play that. They just do. You're that size, you better play physical. And he was throwing bodies around. He did the same thing. He's got to do that. He did the same thing at the end of last year, and he's got to do it all season this year.
You're talking about being a man. Does he have to be the man as far as leadership on this club and on the ice?
No, we definitely have to be a team that plays defense by committee, and we have a couple of very solid offensive guys, but we have to be a team that's going to do things by committee, leadership and defense being two of them.
What was your impressions of Dufa tonight?
Hot and cold. I mean, it's a huge adjustment for the young man. I mean, he's so strong. He's used to playing on a bigger ice surface, doing things different, but he's got some things that most people just don't have. He's a bull. He really is, and he's going to be no fun to play against.
Do you think he played with a little reckless abandon tonight?
He was far more reckless and far more abandonment through the week in practice. He almost cleaned me out one day in practice. So that's going to be his style. That's the way he is. Finns are notorious for that. They play hard and they play kind of a wild game, and that's a good thing.
Is there anybody else? I can think of Sebastian Trudeau comes to my mind that you felt played a solid game tonight that you feel either helped their cause or solidified their cause or played very, very well tonight.
Oh yeah, I thought Piet had a really good game. I thought Shannon had a very good game, and he's really smart with the puck. And of course, some of the usual suspects like Louis Lacasse, he played his usual game. Morin played his usual game. LeMay played his usual game. So the pieces are coming together.
Anybody that stood out? Rookies or anybody like that?
Not so much now, because I think we need a little bit more work together. And guys are really tired today. Some of them it was 5 games in 5 days. Like Lepin, for example. I mean, there's something there. He's going to be a player, but that was his 5th game in 5 days. And 3 of them might have been scrimmage games, but they were the highest level he's competed at to this point in his life, and he played 5 games in 5 days. It's great credit to him to hang in there, and he played really smart today. He did.
Can you talk to anything that might be happening as far as player movement at this point, or?
Well, as you know, that we have to make decisions on stage-up players, and with Penn's example, I mean, we have to keep him today or until Christmas. So we have some 2 or 3 players there. We're making those decisions now.
As far as any movement with other teams, is that something you can talk about yet?
Well, one of the things that we, not with any kind of certainty, but one of the things we wanted to do was add a little bit more experience. We had the 120 when LeMay coming into training camp, and we ideally would like a 20 up front and a 20 on the back end, and hopefully we can accomplish that.